Oh, just fucking pumped him.
Time to pack up and go home.
Jesus Christ.
What is up? I'm going on a little hunt. This is a very last minute do. Got a call up on Friday from Randy saying, hey man, I am going hunting if you want to come. And my ducks were all in a row because my wife had just come back from Bali and I was kind of ahead on work and I just had to scramble a little bit to get extra work done. And so now we are off to our hunt. So I'm about 4 or 5 hours into my drive. Got about 4 or 5 hours to go. And when I get there, we'll just get prepped tonight. We'll just be getting into camp and making sure I'm good to go. I haven't shot my bow. I haven't shot my compound in a long time. I've been shooting my longbow a lot. So I need to get the bow out and have a few practice shots. But once I'm there, it's pretty much get ready, get to bed, get a few hours in before Randy gets into camp. I don't know what will happen from there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the go. I'm very fucking excited. I've had mountain boars on the brain and it's the perfect time being winter. So I've also got this new little toy, which I am hoping on filming the whole thing. So hopefully we've got some cool content at the end of all this. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Randy and I started the weekend off with one of our favourite hunts, or one of my favourite hunts I've ever done on his block, in the sense of the walks that we go on. And we straight away got onto some deer.
I wonder if you fucking get on the other side of that log and just creep up there real quick. Have a eyes in the buck as well.
Box.
Yeah. I'm just about to.
While we were watching over the deer, Grant saw a little fox off to the side, and I straight away went to trying to kiss it in. So giving it a little to see if it would come on into us, and he didn't really react to that at all. So Grant got his trusty little caller out. So got an arrow on. Grant started whistling this little fox in, and he did quite the loop to get around to us. Luckily, we had that wind howling in our face, so we were at the advantage and just had to wait until he came close enough for us to potentially get a shot. Sure enough, he came in on a string. I drew back. Thought he was about 30 meters or so. Took a shot, and it went straight over his back. Very unfortunate start to the day. However, a very exciting start to the day as well.
Yeah, shot over him.
Shot straight over his back, brother.
Fuck. It was way too high.
Yeah, he was like 20 metres.
Yeah.
Would you...
25.
Yeah. There you go, you successfully called on arm.
Yeah.
It's that fucking thing on your head. Turn that.
Grant doesn't love cameras, especially the little head cams that you carry around in camp. He said to me, these are bad luck, just based on his past experience where people have taken them out. They've used them filming days and things have just not gone to plan. And I was determined to let him know that it's going to go different. However, we started the morning off like this, so maybe he was correct. Although, let's see. We then made our way up the side of the ridge and got on top of the deer that we had seen earlier. They had fed all the way up to the top of the hill, and we were now above them, looking down on them as they were feeding in the pasture below us.
Nice everywhere, yeah.
I got down, crunched, and I was like,
Yeah. I was watching you walk up the hill, there's ice on top, and you squish and it'll just melt because of the water underneath.
Yeah.
Worse, we have to wait for them to feed up that corner.
After seeing and discussing what we should do and playing out 1,000 different situations, we decided to make our way up to the tree that was close by and just sit above and hopefully wait for those deer to feed up in through the fence line and make their way up into the thick bush.
He just looked huge compared to everything else. Yeah.
We snuck over and we were sitting by those trees for quite a while, just watching over the deer.
Yeah.
Because the wind was blowing in our face, we were able to be quite vocal with our talking as the wind was blowing away from where the deer were, so the noise wasn't going to really travel. But at times that wind would die off, and I got a little bit too comfortable with the flexibility of noise and moved my foot as I was getting ready to draw back, essentially. So getting into a position where I could draw back. And of course, that's when I snapped a stick and alerted the deer that there was something up and about in the hillside that made them uncomfortable enough. The does at this time of year, being June, they are feeding but also very alert. The boys are a bit more relaxed because they're trying to refeed after the rut has happened.
Oh yeah, I see him. He just turned around.
The plan we eventually came to was if a doe came through the fence line, I would draw back and take a shot and fill the freezer with that meat. However, we never got to that stage because of the foot moving and the stick breaking, unfortunately.
Yeah. They get into safety.
That whole situation of sitting above the deer, we were actually spending probably 30 to 45 minutes above those deer, hanging out with them the whole time. And it just shows that you can't really capture all of that on this sort of scenario when you're trying to showcase a hunt on a YouTube channel. But the big thing is like it doesn't just play out so quickly ever. You do have to be patient. You have to take your time. Grant and I went backward and forth on what we should actually do and where we should actually be positioning ourselves to try and give ourselves the best situation for this hunt. We came up to the next ridge and we saw some bucks sitting underneath the tree. They were just nozzling each other's heads and mucking around a little bit, and we decided that we would try and get a little stalk in on them. And we're sitting off at about 40 meters, and that's when the wind swirled and these deer decided to get out of there. What was funny is as those bucks moved out, another mob of bucks started heading in underneath that same set of trees. But the bucks that had moved out, they sat off just to the side, and they knew that there was something up, and so they were sticking around to see what the deal was. And once again, the wind swirled, and that took everything away. The bucks that were underneath the tree watched the bucks that were out in the open run away, so they also took off.
Fucking wind. Damn wind. That last one fucking was so shooting. Yeah.
Anyway, we walked up to have a look underneath that tree, and as we were there, we saw that there was some more deer out in the open. So Grant used the trees, he used the shadows to get on up and get as close as possible to them. There was a fence in between us and where those deer were, so Grant used that fence line as his deadline to where he needed to get to be able to take a shot. I sat back to make sure that I wasn't making any extra noise that wasn't needed in this situation, just to give Grant the best opportunity possible. And showing us how it's done, Grant made quick work of this stalk, getting right up to that fence line, getting an arrow on the string, drawing back and taking, I think it was about a 30, 35 meter shot on the deer.
Thanks.
So So after Grant shot his doe, we walked up and checked her out. But at the same time, there were some pigs that were just down the hill. And so the plan was to go down and have a look at these pigs. When we got down there, however, we noticed that there was a big herd of bucks that were refeeding. So a bachelor mob that were refeeding down on the flats. And we were on the hill above them. We sat and watched them for ages. And the plan was to figure out how we could get down to them. Pretty much, they didn't give us any much of a position whatsoever. They started bedding down. They were feeding around that area. And there was just too much open country where we just couldn't get down to them. Essentially, we were talking and Grant said, all we need is like one of the farmers to drive their buggy up the farmyard here, and we would be in for an opportunity because the deer would literally run up the hill. Anyway, Grant's mum called him and I decided to go for a little walk to see what those pigs were doing. And that was the last conversation we had before this all played out. So I walked over, I was checking out Mr. Pig over to the side, and then sure enough, I heard the little buggy driving up the farmyard. So I knew it was time to get back and get into a good position to let this all play out. And this is how it went down. When positioning myself, I wanted to stay somewhat in the shadows, but get enough out into the open space that no matter which direction the deer ran off, I could potentially get a shot at them as they came by. There was one buck in particular that I had my eyes for. It was a big, heavy-set fella, bigger than the rest of the crew that were with him in general. And I had my eyes on him as soon as he came up the hill. I started ranging the deer around here and they're at 50 meters, which is a much longer shot than what I wanted to take. And just as that was happening, some more deer ran up the hill and brought the whole herd over in front of me and positioned the big fella literally 20 meters below me. The only issue was there was 2 deer in front of him. So I had to shoot over their backs. You can somewhat see it in that slowdown. I had to shoot over the back of 2 deer and thread it through that small little window that I had of the vitals. I was pretty confident in this shot because I could see one whole, I guess, top quarter of this deer, probably top third of this deer at least. So I knew, being a downhill shot, that I had the advantage of coming high on one lung and hopefully out the back or the bottom of the other lungs.
I swear I pumped him. Go down, you bastard. Just fucking pumped him. He's just going down out in the middle of the field.
I turned the camera off before Grant came over and was absolutely blown away with the fact that I had taken the buck that we were eyeing out the whole time when we were standing above them. We were literally saying, that is the buck. If you got to take any buck, that's the one you'd want to take. And so when I told him that's the one I shot, he was like over the moon for me. We had bear hugs. We were blown away by just what had played out and how he had just literally dictated, like, this is what we need to have happen. And that's exactly what happened. And it just played out exactly the way that we essentially had talked about it happening. And I was just over the moon because this is a PR buck, probably a buck of a lifetime, to be honest. And we're about to find out just how he looks.
Look at him.
You let him go. He's only a baby.
Oh, buddy.
He's only just fresh up.
Yeah, it was just a bit high. So high and shooting down. So I reckon I must have only like clipped one of the lungs on the top, and then the back one like got it a fair bit more. Wow.
You know, there ain't much ground shrinkage on him, bro.
No. Look at him. Jesus. Thanks, buddy. Fuck, look at the size of him. Far out. Still got his big old thick neck happening too.
Yeah, you only have that for a little bit longer. Like, you won't have that for much longer.
Hey, Jesus. I reckon he's reasonably old.
Yeah, I reckon he might be sort of at his prime. Because he hasn't really got much to fill in left on his points.
Yeah.
When you're looking at it. Yeah, he's nice and long.
Yeah. There's mud everywhere. Fucking hell. How good.
You
Kissed on the dick.
yeah, but that's gonna be up there.
You don't reckon all the breakage and that's the only breakage, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not like, he's not super wide in the
No.
palms, but he's super long through the palms. He's got good points, he's got good guards, like he's got a lot of things going for him.
You reckon above 220?
Yes.
Like how much more?
Oh, I'm thinking above maybe 230.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
Far out.
Yeah, somewhere in the realms of that.
Did you bring your measuring kit?
Not the full officiation one, but I mean, I got masking tape and a ruler.
Yeah, okay.
We can
Do a rough one.
oh,
I mean,
no, we'll get it pretty close.
Yeah.
I've probably got a set of calipers in my car. I looked at it and I went, no, I won't bring it up.
fucking incredible.
So, probably a good thing I didn't bring it up. I was guaranteed if I brought it up.
Yeah, well, nothing would have happened.
Anyway, absolute PB for me. This buck ended up going 234 in the scoring system that Grant was talking about.
Well, that couldn't have fucking worked out any better. Crazy little situation where we were actually up on a ridge over here and we saw all the deer over here. We were just trying to get onto that bunch because they were just feeding up towards us. But I moved my foot and fucked that one up. And so we came over here and made our way up and we're just sitting above this mob, as you'll see in the footage. But yeah, just sitting above this mob of bucks. And they just weren't playing the game at all. And Grant said to me, he goes, if all we need is like the farmer to drive along the road, because that would be enough to fucking stir them up and they'll come up towards us, hopefully. Anyway, he got a phone call. So he hops on the phone. I'm like, I'm just going to go over here and check out what's going on. There was a pig over there. I was probably a few meters away from the pig. There was a few more stags or bucks, up the hill, like a few spikies and stuff. And then I heard the farmer's buggy coming. I'm like, no way. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I got back over on top of the hill and I'm just sitting there waiting, and they came literally straight up the hill to me. And there's this big buck that we were looking at and we were trying to get the whole time, or that I had my eyes on the whole time. And he literally came straight up to me on a string, pretty much. They came up, they were sitting 50 meters off of me. I ranged them. I'm like, I'd love for them to get closer. And sure enough, they kept coming closer. And then the spikies that I was talking about, they ran across, which made them move even more. And they ran up the hill and he's sitting right there. But he's got a buck's back along his vitals. So I've got a shot downhill. I'm like, I can get one lung definitely. I'm pretty sure this is like, if I can just thread this properly, it's going to be a good shot. And next minute, took the shot. It was fucking perfect, the shot. And when we have a look at it, he's run 100, probably 200 meters, which is pretty wild, because I'm like, I'm sure I pickled him. I'm absolutely sure I pickled him with where I've shot him, where he's gone to. And so Grant's just doing pretty much the same sort of video explaining this, but there's no blood. There's no blood anywhere here. You look at him, his lungs are gone. Like he's dead man running. And I knew it. I was pretty certain based on the way I hit him
But when he fucking kept running and kept running and kept running, I started getting a bit worried, to be honest. I was like, I'm sure I hit him well. Like, I'm almost certain I hit him well. And so to watch him start to buckle, and he gave one straight leg, one stiff leg before he freaking fell over, and then he went down. But yeah, very interesting little learning lesson as well, that like, if it wasn't out in this open stuff, I don't know if we would have actually found him. If he was up in the thick stuff of the hills, it would have been definitely a very interesting story to figure out if we could have blood trailed him or not, just based on, like I said, 200 meters, no blood. There's like specks up there, based on when I was looking for my arrow. So yeah, absolutely wild, but fucking incredible as well. I'm so stoked. Anyway, on any typical day, this would be a great day of hunting, and we had pretty much called it. We were like, okay, day's over. Let's go get the buggy. We'll come up. We'll get both of the deer that we've just shot, and we'll make our way home to butcher them up and make sure that we've got that meat all secured. However, on our way down, we ran into a bunch of little mob pigs, and Grant said, you know what? It's time that we thin out this mob a little bit for the farmer. They would definitely appreciate it right now while there's high numbers about.
Fuck, your arrow went so far off the bat. I don't know, I was watching this. It definitely pumped through him, I thought.
I gotta reset this release. Fuck me, I'm having to put some fucking hurt on it to go off.
Yeah, okay, maybe just tweaking the fuck out of it.
So from my position, I just watched Grant's arrow skyrocket. He smacked through this pig, skyrocketed up and over the ledge. Grant's gone to blood trail the pig, so he's followed blood this way. I've gone down to follow where his arrow was and try find it. I just saw it off in the sky, so I was like, it's going to be down here somewhere in this hill. Anyway, what happened was essentially this pig's gone down through the valley, and it's crossed over a little creek line. So Grant's on that side of the creek. I've come down the hill and had to go around and cross over a little bit lower, which is positioned as where he is above me, I'm below, and we're walking down essentially this creek line to get back to the road to be able to walk back to where the buggy is. Whilst we're walking, I notice a big old pig sitting under a tree in a whole tuft of grass. And for me, straight away, I knew that was a boar. And so I hit up Grant and I said, "Oi, watch this. There's something down there." He's like, "Arrow on, let's go." And so this is how that played out.
Again, Matty, again. You're a fucking cocksucker.
Fuck, he's got some teeth.
Fucking cunt. Time to pack up and go home.
Jesus Christ.
That cunt's a fuck you. Proper fuck you.
Fucking Jesus. I'm like, I'm not going to get closer because there's a gap in the fucking fence. Tickled him too? Don't break him up, bro.
You're a fucking tin-ass motherfucker.
So for those of you who don't talk Australian, this is Grant saying, "Mate, good job. You've done incredibly well. I'm very jealous of the bloody animals you've taken this morning." And to be honest, I was just over the moon because it was 2 PRs for me. And absolute stonkers of animals, and Grant is just saying you are a tin ass. Like the luck that you have on this block is ridiculous. It's time to pack up and go home because it's not getting any better than this. But that is him literally just saying like, good bloody job. You've done incredible. And I laugh every time I hear it because it just makes me happy. I think other people might see this and go like, he's just put him down. But really, that's Grant just saying like, yo, you've had a day. Like, you're very lucky how this has played out and you've had a good day. Good job.
That is a fucking exceptional tusk out that side.
Is that stuck in his shoulder blade on the other side?
Mm-hmm.
Do I send one through him or no? You just
Don't waste a fucking good arrow. I got one here that's half fucking
bloody and gone.
cooked it anyway. Just see if we try to fucking hit me or not. That's more so my concern.
As the pig wasn't passing as fast as we wanted to, we just decided that it'd be best if we shot another arrow into him real quick. So Grant just walked straight up to him as he was immobilized and make sure that he passes nice and quickly. It's never good to watch an animal struggle. None of us like to see that.
Fuck, looking at that tusk.
Mm-hmm. It's got some curl.
Might have to put you on a fucking no shoot list. No more pigs, no more deer. You just doe bashing now.
Just doe bashing.
You've been fucking demoted.
Jesus Christ.
I think the other side might be broken, but yeah, you've got spine.
Yeah, got you, because the way he's laying.
Yeah, you needed to hit him.
Oh, I couldn't see any lower than...
Yeah. Well, you got to shoot through the grass almost.
Yeah, I did even with that. Not enough, obviously. Fucking hell. Look at him. I didn't think he was going to be that big when I was fucking...
Pilot cuts?
Pilot cut, yeah. Jesus. What a bloody morning. Moment of truth.
I wouldn't put your hand fucking right there just yet. So this is Matt's number 2 where they lay picture for the day. He's now no longer referred to as Matty or Matthias. His new name is Tin Ass Matt.
How about Matthias the Bowhunter?
You fuck a one gut, you're branded for life. Tin ass. Look at this. Look at the size of that fucking thing. I don't think we're in a Cape York swamp right now pulling fucking 30 pointers out of our asshole. But no.
Here we go.
He just goes and shoots a 230 odd fucking fallow deer, and then walking down just gets this one that just sits there and yeah.
Let me stalk right up to it, 12 metres.
What'd you get there? 10, 12 metres?
Probably, yeah.
Walk in the park.
Just sleeping, didn't even fucking move.
Well, you're welcome, mate. Spoon-fed safaris.
So this was honestly a 1 in a million hunt for me. This is not the way that it ever plays out, and it just happened to all my ducks were in a row this weekend. I wasn't even meant to be going hunting, and then literally I found out the Friday before I'm going hunting. I made it happen. I got down, and it was just the absolute best day I've ever had out hunting. It doesn't go much better than this, and I was just over the moon and so grateful that I could actually capture it, because obviously the memories are stuck in here, but to be able to share it with you guys is also pretty incredible. So if you guys like this, you'd like to see some more of these, then make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll keep them coming when we're out in the field. Hopefully I get a few more days like this. That's what all of us bow hunters obviously dream of. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.